Also, just because I hadn't thought to look at it, this is an 0-1 race, so both of these runners did unfortunately lose their first race, but looks like we're off here. So let's see what we get out of this seed. First item, we get 20 rupees. We'll take that. It's something, and something is better than nothing. Now, so just as a quick rundown of what weapons we can get from Uncle here, we can get bombs. We can get either cane, the cane of Samaria, or the cane of Berna, the fire rod, a sword, the hammer, or the bow. Any of those weapons will allow us to kill everything we need to be able to kill. And we are getting the bow. Yeah, so currently we're going to start with the bow. That'll let a lot of quick kills here. The bow being able to, I believe, one-hit kill all the enemies in Escape. I can't remember. I'm actually not very experienced. I can't remember if it kills the blue guards, but with 30 arrows, gives us lots of ability to kill a lot of extra enemies trying to find that bomb drop so that we can do the back of Escape the first time. So, both runners just speeding through here real fast. I think I have a Rick Fox in the channel now. I do have the other Rick Fox in the channel. He's just got to unmute, and we'll be good to go. Bow does bow damage. That sounds accurate, Alminster. Yeah, okay, it does take 2 shots. I had a feeling. So there's a required 6 arrows needed for this entire opening segment, if you hit them all. So plenty that you can. Well, and yeah, and 4 more for the ball and chain guard. So 10 required. Or sorry, 9. Yeah, 10. I was right. I'm crazy.
Whatever enough arrows is to poke him to death.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome, the other Rick Fox, for joining me in the commentary.
Sorry about that. Normally I wouldn't mention technical issues, but this is kind of warranted to why I was quiet. My apologies.
We get bombs, so we're not going to have to search too many more. We're not going to have to farm for bombs, actually.
Well.
In the meantime, so we have both runners running through here. Not much of note except for the bow. It will be interesting to see if either of our runners, how quickly this puts them into Eastern Palace play. Of course, we don't even know if Eastern Palace is a crystal or not yet, which may decide how quickly we do it. But it's definitely very common to see, especially for those comfortable with dark rooms, to see a very fast Eastern play with a bow start.
Wouldn't surprise me either, because one, the bow is always such a hard item to find, especially in my end. So an early bow is really exciting, and it also does hint me to Eastern Palace, and also opens up a lot.
Yeah. The other question, though, is do you wait for Lamp till you bother with Eastern Palace, which both goes with your comfortability with dark rooms and the fact that you sort of want to logically proceed with the seed, potentially.
So if you're not even comfortable, Eastern Palace, 2 out of the 3 dark rooms are fairly easy to navigate without it and not have to worry about enemies. So that's always helpful.
Definitely, for sure. Anyways, we're now on the outwards part here. Time to go push aside I don't even know what the thing behind the throne is, but we push it to the side to enter the sewers. Big tapestry.
Conveniently placed piece of decor.
Yeah. Ultyma, I think, showing off his NMG prowess here with the start. Definitely having just making up those couple of seconds early on, just from being very used to. I'm not sure how much NMG he's run. I didn't look into what his times are, but any time spent doing NMG is going to spend some time practicing Escape for sure. So,
and also just practicing a lot of randomizer runs in itself, which it seems to be the one he's played first. So,
yeah.
We're going to find ourselves with the first hype of the night at the moment and finding out what's in the back of Escape here. Pretty quickly here, anyway.
Yep.
E-grab from Ultyma, knowing which mouse exactly has that key, so that's good.
It can be a little tricky. You definitely don't want to let them out of your sight, because then it can become a real mess real fast. Well, that's not exciting to see, but it's nice to see at this point in the seed.
You can at least go get the item from the bottle merchant.
Yep, got enough for the item for the bottle merchant, and you're gonna have enough money to buy bombs as well, for sure. Assuming you pick up all the pots that almost everyone picks up in Kakariko Village.
Definitely, because there's a good 30 right in the blind hut there, whatever it is.
30 in blinds, had another 20 in the well, no problem to get 50.
After all, well, then you get a little something for Zora later on, so that's the big necessity.
Yeah. That and, of course, pod eventually, but typically not a lot of seeds where you run out of money when you're trying to do pod. Alright, so we get the tree pull here. Full magic refill, not too shabby, always nice to see. 20 rupees from the bush crab. Ultyma saying, yes please, I'll take those. That one I can see being a little bit more of a runner preference, as it definitely sort of comes up to each person. Bombs on the lumberjack ledge. A good little piece of information, but doesn't actually means that we're not going to see Ganon for that reason. Knox nicely running around the other path of the house, since he was sort of pulled that way by the bush crab anyways, so may as well go ahead and do it that way. Seeing the bombs and just noping out. Ultyma here at the mushroom spot, we have a piece of heart. Not bothering with that. I don't blame him. If you're confident with your health, quarter healths don't typically do a lot for you in this part of the game. Nice 300 rupees. That's going to set us up. We're really close to having enough money for Zora already at this point. Which is an interesting little place to be because of the fact that there's no access. Well, we don't have access to much of anything at the moment. We have just a bow. Logically, we don't have access to anything that we don't normally have access to at this point. Knox, on the other hand, deciding to pick up the piece of heart, opting for the little bit of safety in the future. You never know when that refill might come in as well. It's possible that picking up that piece of heart now might give him a very optimal refill in the future. We'll see. In the well, we get 10 arrows. Using a nice little bomb throw over the rock there to keep everything going. We get more bombs. So that's nice because you don't have to now you don't have to refill your bombs before the chicken coop. So it's always nice to see just another set of bombs there, just so you know you don't have to worry about that. We get the single arrow, the one arrow that we keep to kill Ganon with, if we get the silvers. Both players now entering into Blind's Hut. The Moon Pearl. Well, that's nice to have. Doesn't mean a heck of a lot right now, because we still have nothing else to actually access anything with, but always good to find that early. And a Fire Rod. Fire Rod will be pretty big here. We'll see exactly... we'll see how it can be put to use here in the near future. There's the Power Gloves. There we go. The Kakariko's starting to come through for us now. Well was holding out on us, but everything else. Let's see here. Past the upgrade. Could be worse. Oh, actually, maybe you can't. I don't know. Arrow upgrades are pretty bad. You sort of start with enough arrow capacity for the entire seed, unless you're going to get forced to fight Vitreous without silvers. And a bomb capacity upgrade. Also not quite what Ultyma was hoping for here. Unfortunately, going to have to come back later for Sick Kid. Ultyma also decided to leave without picking up more bombs. Interesting decision. It means he will have enough bombs to check Mini Moldorm Cave, Ice Rod Cave, or any combination of two, of course. I don't expect we'll be seeing him check the race. I expect we won't see him YOLOing the race game here yet. He's going to go over, check what the item is. And it is the hammer! You're not saving it quitting, Ultyma. You're going to pick up that hammer. That's Dark World access, everyone. That's really early Dark World access. Very interesting, actually, because it still doesn't open up a lot. We can't get to Moth yet, still, of course. No early Mothula because we need a sword still before that. So that's a thing. Didn't catch that map check. I know there was I'm pretty sure it was a crystal on Eastern, but that was about all I caught on that map check. Let's see here.
Hammer time.
Ooh, that was a really fast map. Okay, there we go. Okay, so yeah, pendants, red and blue pendants on Hera and Desert, so not too much of interest there.
It'll be interesting though to see what's going to be in the Dark World.
Yeah, and I don't expect we'll be seeing Dark World too fast here, given that the lack of sword being one of the big ones, also being only on 4 hearts is a big don't really want to go into Dark World state as well.
No, you don't. You definitely don't. I've seen a couple blind fights on 6 hearts with green mail, and they did a good job, but it didn't work out that well.
Yeah, you pretty much need to be scripting the fight at that point, or have a full bar of magic and a cane of Burna, or something along those lines.
Shoot 'em up reflexes.
Shoot 'em up reflexes can work, but sometimes you just get into no-win situations in that fight. And often one hit leads to more. It leads to you just being out of position and just getting worse. In the meantime, I figure Ultima's picking up that heart container. You're not passing up a full one. Now, the interesting part here is mentioned, actually both runners opted not to pick up any more bombs in Kakariko, which is very interesting because it does leave us in this point where we only have, both players are only going to be able to check Mini Moldorm Cave, and if Mini Moldorm Cave doesn't have more bombs, I guess we're going to Dark World at that point. Heck, even we're going to Village of Outcasts probably. There's not much else you could do.
Well, with the bow,
go ahead.
If they're comfortable with it, they can also hit Eastern Palace, but it wouldn't necessarily be part of the logic because the logic likes the lamp. So,
and you'd still want to pick up more bombs before then. Now, granted, there is another bomb shop, of course, just underneath the bridge. They're flippers. The flippers are here.
And so is in a bottle with a bee in it.
The flippers just further leading our runners to Zora, most likely here. Ultyma,
Forward.
hopefully you're okay. Good, you're not going to Waterfall Cave or the Ice Rod Cave. That would just be sad. Don't want to see the runners going to Waterfall Cave because uh-oh. You can do it, Knox. Okay, should be safe now as long as you don't fall into pits.
Would be the pits. But it looks like Ultima's checking Hobo now. See what he has.
Yep. Oh, hammer strats. This is not good. Okay, there goes Knox.
Oof.
Yeah, Mini Moldorm Cave, not the most fun thing. You've got the arrows to shoot them from a ways away, but they're not the easiest thing to hit with arrows, so not the funnest clear if you don't get a couple lucky arrows along the way.
To move. I mean, they're not as bad as that's the big one in Hera, but they can still be kind of annoying.
You can't hit the one in Hera with arrows either way, so Somehow he got that immunity when the smaller ones didn't.
That's what we call evolution.
A bee in a bottle. Yeah, this one not going a lot better for Knox, unfortunately. We'll see what he gets here. Actually, Fire Rod might not actually be a bad option against the Mini Moldorm, just for the bigger hitbox and lingering. But he got through.
It's red rupees on the Zora ledge.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see those getting picked up. Not in a seed this rich.
They got themselves some rupees, so, you know, nothing to really worry about now.
Yeah. There's a very good chance you have enough rupees for the rest of the seed. You're technically a couple short still for all the checks that you'll need to make in the long run, but oh. He had a shield. Not sure shields are worth 500 rupees, but sure.
Druid trading, you know, Zora gonna make profit too.
Yep. Missed the heart container. So there's a heart container on the Hylia Island, which is probably not going to be picked up, but you never know. Depending on how the health does go later in the seed, you might end up in the situation where one of the runners decides to take a short detour to pick it up, depending on how their dungeon ordering goes.
Certainly wouldn't be the worst of things to take a small detour for, so I wouldn't blame them if they did.
Well, if you get a good old swamp palace into ice palace, it's barely any time at all. But we shall see how things go. We are immediately turning in the bottle to the sick kid. Not a bad play. We'll see if this pays off. Not bad. There are worse things you can get than blue mail.
It kind of opens up Dark World a little bit more, because even if you don't have the heart containers, you're at least taking less damage, so that in itself is a giant boon.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely it's and you really want to get that first the blue mail. The blue mail just helps your defense so much, especially in these early parts of seeds where you don't have a lot of money yet. Knox probably trying to farm for bombs there, not getting the drops that he was hoping for. Maybe just going that far, then realizing he had no bombs. Either way, leaving once he realized that it wasn't the right thing to be doing at the moment.
It looks like Knox is taking the trip over to Zora as well, and the waterfall.
He'll pay his 500 rupees for a shield. Meanwhile, Ultyma, what do you think? Village of Outcasts or Skullwoods first? Well, we're getting near not too late. Green Pendant Turtle Rock. That's exactly what everyone wants to see. Because that means Turtle Rock Dip's going to be probably required.
If it isn't, that's one less item in the Ice Rod you gotta get. And Skullwoods is going to be the play here, it looks like. I don't blame Ultyma, because, I mean, you have the Fire Rod, you can full clear it. Not a big deal.
And depending on how familiar he is with the strategies in general, having that blue mail just is nice to take less damage from Moth as well. Still take the full heart from each spike, but we'll see. Although he doesn't have a sword yet, so he can't even get to Moth, so a little irrelevant depending on...
You at least check a lot of the dungeon. It's just, you just can't open that sword without a curtain, which is kind of funny. I mean, you can't just push it out of the way? Come on.
There's some really thick vines. They've got, like, thorns and stuff. You know, you don't want to touch them with your bare hands.
So, I mean, I don't even open my own curtains like that. So, you know, it's like, wow.
Anyways, so I wasn't really paying enough attention to know if we got 2 items. We must not have, but that was a blue rupee in the one chest, so we did get 1 item out of our Skullwood check.
It looked like it was a key in the other, if I'm not mistaken. Well,
there are 3 chests, though. So we definitely got a small key. I don't know what the last item was. We're just going to Fire Rod everything. Not a bad choice.
Those mummies are serious business, especially when you only have 6 hearts. Granted, the blue mail helps, but those things will sneak up on you and just
He's going to have to take damage there, though. You can't use your items when you're in a doorway, only the sword. The cape!
Cape.
So there's I don't know why you did that, Ultyma, but sure.
Run into it, but then decided to take him back.
Well, we got there. We got the death warp. Took a little longer than it, unfortunately. But there's a decent chance. We'll see if he decides to immediately check the bumper cave or not. Given where the cape is, it very well may be a check he decides to make immediately, or he may leave it till after Thieves Town.
Couldn't hurt. I mean, you're right there, so...
Yeah.
It's not a place you really route to that much, so going out of the way, I think he is.
And you don't know when you're going to get the Boots of Mirror to make this a better route.
I decided to pass that up, so...
I don't blame him. I don't think there's a lot of runners out there that are going to take the 30 seconds or so it needs to pick up just a piece of heart.
Is.
Knox is also just going to skip Skullwoods at the start here. Going to go straight for the play into Thieves Town as well. Unfortunately, blind not the most fun fight at the moment if we do decide to go all the way through Thieves Town.
And 6 hearts, though. Oh, red mail. That may help.
Helps a little bit. It's just the fact that it's an only hammer fight at the moment, and hammer's not the most fun to fight blind with.
And I've done it a couple times, and it is a mean fight.
Oh, more potions. That being said, given that we have this early hammer, we can full clear the dungeon in general, though, so... Definitely worth a dip at this point.
Especially with the 4 chests that are right there. A shovel, there's one.
If we get a mirror, that'll actually work very nicely into our routing. But that's a big if. That mirror could... We know we're going to get that mirror before go mode, but we don't know how far before.
It's like they've stolen some good loot in Thieves Town here. Half magic. We've seen 2 out of the 4 items that are there.
Yep. Unfortunately, half magic not going to help much with the blind fight. It can if you have a sword. As when you have a sword, you can put on the cape and slash it blind. But since we'd have to use the hammer, we can't have the cape on and the hammer at the same time. And the half magic would have helped there. And there's the mirror.
Calls him like he sees him.
So that gives us access to the front half of Swamp Palace as well. That's not going to be a play I think anyone's going to make in the near future, but interesting to note.
Just having the mirror just opens up a lot of stuff in and of itself.
Yep. So the other thing that our runners would be hoping for in the near future would be, well, depending on how much they like checking their overworld location, would be Titan's Mitts, so you can take the real frog tour all at once here.
Yeah, that's something you don't want to do in pieces. Absolutely not. Too much of a time waster.
Nice Hellway there by Ultyma, taking no hits whatsoever. Spike's got him, though.
A rattle room.
The grasshoppers in the next room are going to be a little interesting because, once again, having no sword means you pretty much just either have to wait in the doorway till you're ready to go, or YOLO through at them. Which we did see Ultimate, that just there to sort of sit there while they waited for the grasshoppers to decide to go somewhere nicer.
Yeah, the grasshoppers act like mice, hurt like trucks.
Granted, with red mail doesn't mean as much, but
We're doing this in green mail, like I saw in an earlier fight. Ooh, mama, that's like running in the middle of a freeway.
yep. Very nice overall here. So, will the small key lock itself, or will it be in the dungeon chest? Fortunately, plenty of hearts right in here as well. Guess we're going to the big chest. Didn't need to go to the big chest, but you don't want to walk all the way back in here after killing blind. Ever.
Far too much of a backtrack.
Yeah.
Go just for the peace of mind factor, too, because if it were me and I had to leave that chest, I would be like, okay, what progression item does it have?
Yeah. That's being silly, and we actually got the last item in the chest upstairs, but I don't think we did. So I do know it was a 3-item front. 2. Oh, I thought he had the third one, but there it is. I believe that's 2 hits. It was. Now for the fun part. Hammer phase 3. One. Oh! Down he goes.
So close. Oh, man. Valiant effort by Ultyma. I mean, that's not easy. That's not easy.
Don't expect to see a refight. Yeah, he's not going to bother the refight right now. There's not enough value in that one fight to just bash your head against it with 6 hearts.
Absolutely not. You get that's one of the big reasons why you want to go into the blind fight with a lot more health.
Yeah. Well, especially with the hammer. If you're scripting the fight, then sure. But it's near impossible to script the fight with the hammer.
Wonky hitbox and all.
Well, it's the wonky hitbox and the fact you can't just hold the hitbox on top of his head. Which is part of the starting each phase, is being able to just hold your sword out and let it hit his head the first frame it's available.
Knox seemed to be having a lot more success here. Oh, and Knox does it. Yep. Nicely done. Kudos.
Just bombs for his trouble. So the main value there, just in the fact that he won't have to revisit it later. As Ultima goes into K45 here, I'll always throw out my little PSA that I like for this hook shot. There it is. Swamp's completable. It'll be menu boss, but that's not the worst thing in the world. But if you mirror against that slope, the angled slope, it exactly mirrors what's in the light world. No puns intended. So you will not mirror bonk if you mirror anywhere along that slope.
Nice to know.
It's also very fast, because it's the first point you come along. Come on, you can get to that shovel. The menu trolling Ultima there a little bit.
So is the item that was inside.
Knox is going for the Skull Woods dip. Unless he did the front really fast, I don't think he did the front yet. So I think he's just starting with the back here. Gonna blue boomerang the Gibdos. Not a bad strategy. And also keeping all the enemies on screen. Due to a sprite limit, the wall master that normally spawns here will not spawn until you've destroyed at least one of the enemies.
Is our friend willing to give him a hand?
Stuns the Gibdos again. Hype cave time, everyone. Uh-oh, got grabbed. 20 rupees. 20 more rupees. Little bit of love. Bombs. 20 more rupees. So, about as low as you can get on the hype scale. About the only hype thing about that hype cave was getting a health refill.
Yeah, it's. I guess we can call that the consolation prize of Hype Cave, but thankfully we still got at least one more place that we can check out that has a lot of hype in it, so may not be off the table yet.
Yep. Swamp Palace not often in Logic this early, and with it being in Logic this early, very well could be quite the smorgasbord of items.
Yeah, with a total of 6 items in play, I mean, you could find something easy. You could find a sword in there. Could find progression items are definitely on the table too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. Is because of how early we got all the items. There's no reason for us not to find any item we don't currently have. Could very easily have been plopped into Swamp.
So we're really in there. Should be intriguing to find out what we're going to find in the first chest.
Yep.
Long hype. Well, we'll call it cave. More health there. Always still helpful. It's still early, so.
Yeah, really looking for a sword is one of the big things our runners are probably really hoping for in the near future here. Makes things a lot easier, and especially with now that with Swamp Palace being in Logic, also being one of the 5/6 crystals, and Skullwoods being the other 5/6 crystal, there's also a very high chance that there is something in the Pyramid Fairy, because all we need is a sword to put that into Logic as well.
Exactly, and once you find that sword, I mean, both are going to be quick clear, so.
Yeah. On the other hand, everyone's favorite thing, Pedestal, is looking to be pretty much in jeopardy with the items that we've got already, because Turtle Rock and Swamp Palace have 2 very contrasting item sets, and given that we already have access to Swamp and Turtle Rock's a pendant, very few items left there that are likely going to be on the pedestal. That are going to be required.
People can always have hope. I look at the
hope.
chat.
Exactly.
And chest, it's not quite the haul he's hoping for so far, but one item just makes all the difference, and there's still, I think, about 3 or 4 still.
Knox deciding not to go for the Mothula play. Very prudent choice, most likely. Moth can be quite the... well, what am I saying? I already talked about this. We can't go for Moth. I'm being silly. Was literally just talking about this.
Acquaintance, man. Acquaintance, see? Yeah.
You don't want to hit that... You don't want to hit the switch yet, Ultyma. I guess you can get out that way, too. That's fine. You can do it that way, Ultyma.
Hey, whatever gets you going in the end, right?
Knox did find the big key by the looks of it here. Otherwise, I don't see why we'd be doing this. So we'll see if we get our last item in here. We do not. Oh, but if that's all the items that the compass is left, though. So that we must have gotten all the items somewhere along the way here. It's not easy to die to mini Moldorms with red mail. Don't think that was even... Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure he's going to get spawned back there. Probably would have been faster to just walk out anyways, but hey. Red mail throwing off calculations for everyone. Oh, good. Fetch quest. It's the mushroom on the left side and on the leftist most chest.
Rupees on the other. Maybe that's got our sword, maybe not. But I think we still got one. I think we still got another item or two. So Swamp isn't quite out of the running yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many items we're at, but definitely 4 item locations in the back, and I don't know if we've seen the big key yet, even.
Don't believe so, but it could very well be locked in the big chest because you don't really need it to complete Swamp Palace.
That's correct. The only place it's used in Swamp Palace is for the big chest to give you the hook shot in the vanilla game. When we already have the hook shot, it becomes a little more trivial.
One chest a thief ain't gonna help you open.
Knox, not quite sure how to get through the graveyard here, unfortunately. He knows he can do it, he's not sure how. Don't blame him, it's a little bit of a contrived path. Go up. Is he abandoning it? Nope. Through the flowers, Knox. Okay, he's gone. Yeah, that path without boots or Titan's mitts is a little awkward.
Hey, speaking of Titan's mitts, same wavelength. Yes, that is exciting news. Might the item hoping for, but it's a dang good one, let me tell you.
Oh yes, it's not a sword, but then again, you really don't care at this point if you're getting a sword or not. You already know you're doing menu boss Argus. Unless you really want to show off your fighter sword spin strats.
It's annoying, but at least Argus isn't that difficult of a boss.
Yeah, it's more time-consuming than it is dangerous. There's a reason why we call it menu boss and not, you know, difficult.
Place to go stop hammer time.
Fortunately, very easy menu. Basically, one of each direction will get it to you, regardless of which order you do them in. Which is always nice, so that if you get out of order one of the times, it's not as much of an issue. Every once in a while, I get one of those menus where if you hit the wrong direction at some point and you're just completely lost.
If you're unlucky like me sometimes and have to fight the menu, that's something you don't want to fight. The his Diggy prize out.
Eventually he'll get his 20 rupees. There it is. Not even picking them up.
Dumped over that one. I mean, just look at him.
Well, can't blame him. Aside from potions, the only thing left to pay for in the seed is pod entrance, and you have enough for that. So we're gonna get fire rod strats here, or we're gonna get hammer strats? Fire rod strats. I figured as much. Nice double hit.
Knox getting his hook shot.
Yep. Flute! Das Flute.
Progression items that they probably weren't weren't hoping. Well, it's probably not the one they were hoping for, is what I was trying to say. But hey, great progression items anyway. Can't complain too much about it.
And to be fair, it works out very well with the Titan's mitts he just got, because it allows to do that Meyer check that lots of people like to do immediately upon getting the flute in the first place. Just as it's a very quick check and gives you information on what you need to open Meyer later.
Get a few places that you can just route in all in one, especially now with the mirror, because you got the shed, you get Checkerboard Cave, and you can check Agina while you're at it, and then maybe even the Legend Desert Palace.
Yep. No real reason to not check Desert Palace when you get over there. It's very quick to check through Desert Palace. You might not go to Landmola's, but that's the decision you make at that point. Anyways, everyone, please stand for the Swag Duck Anthem and remove your hats. All right, now that that's done, Knox has picked up his 60 rupees and 3 bombs and a little bit of love from Hype Cave while we were respecting the anthem. The mushroom check, very good place to start there as well.
And we'll see what we find. Of mushrooms there.
A little bit of love. No real reason to not pick it up. The time save on not picking up is so minuscule that it's rarely actually worth it. We're gonna get a little bit of dark rooming here. This looks good.
I think the hammer can be seen in the dark.
Oh no, never mind. We're still at the first corner. We are not looking good. I changed my mind. Yeah, you're gonna have to save and quit if you want to get out of here. Or use the boomerang. The boomerang's a nice one. Boomerang much simpler to tell than the hammer because you also get that idea of how far in front of you. Yeah, so we're looking good now. As long as he doesn't go too far down and end up in that hole. I think there's a hole far down. Where are you? Did we just go through the door? I think we did just go through the door. Yeah, so we're on our way. We should hear the bats here. Yep, okay, we're good. We should have the old man.
It's used as the boomerang.
Nicely done. 5 rupees first trouble. More important, though, of course, is the save and quit point. Especially since you just got the flute. It's very nice to have that cave entrance with the flute available, because that way you can always save and quit to the mountain cave, get full health, and go on your merry way.
I'm expecting Ultyma here to check out what's on Spectacle Rock and in Spectacle Rock, and then save and quit if you don't like it, and go check the other side.
He may save and quit. I don't think he'll pick up that fire shield. Might not save and quit. He's got lots of options. He can also go straight into Hera because we have the mirror. So we have everything we need to search everything in whatever order we want. We are deciding to go for the hookshot route, though. Especially with Hera being a pendant, we may be seeing him stay away from that for a little while. Ultyma trying to think about what way he wants to route this through. I would say this is the correct decision. He should mirror out right in between the doors here, somewhere right around here. He's not doing it. Why, Ultyma? Why? That's okay. He won't forget Paradox Cave. I hope.
Oh, I think just a different route.
Yeah. And more money.
Able to be able to pay for kids' college, that's for sure. At the end of this.
Yep. Or potions. Either way. Gonna get some hookshot cave, unsurprisingly. Are we gonna see the mirror before? No. Probably would have been a good idea to check what's on the floating island, so you know if you want to sort of go over there before you're done. Probably not going to be costly. The floating island seems to often not have anything on it, but once again, often it takes a while to get to the mirror, and we already have the mirror and the hookshot this seed, so you never know.
Be just a gamble by Ultyma. You never know. It's not the worst of gambles.
Yeah, and you'll see it at some point here. Tech, he'll probably mirror after Turtle Rock and see it on the way back. Quick!
For Turtle Rock there.
Yeah, so we'll find out what's on the island right now. Piece of heart. Not worth getting.
Vanilla pieces of heart here in the mountain today.
Can't quite hookshot that far, Knox. Good try, though. Anyways, our resident sleeper cave had 20 rupees at the bottom, which is about par for the seed so far.
20 rupees have been popping up like weeds here.
I'm not sure how many of them we've chewed through, but it's definitely got to be getting a good way through those 28 red rupees that are lying around.
Now we're gonna make the big cash check.
Yep.
H
big trick here-
C-A-S-H.
Big trick here is going to be not dying to the mini Moldrums, although I think he... Oh, right, those health... I forgot about those healths. Never mind, he was going to be fine, especially with red mail. He is going to have to hammer them, though, which is still not fun. Or, actually, he'll probably hookshot them. We'll see.
Yeah, it's always better to hookshot him. One-hit KO.
To be fair, he doesn't even need to kill them. Well, it depends on if he wants to do Tower of Terror or not. Because he can just save and quit from here. If this is all he wants to do. And there we go.
Swipes, and understandably so. I would be doing the same.
Yeah, lots of places to check still. Need that lamp to put some things in logic at this point. The Eastern Palace play, for instance. Interesting that no one's gone to Sahasrarla's hut yet, but once again, understandable when you get such early Dark World access. And I think this is that play. He does not enter the Dark World, though, which I would have expected. Just a little bit faster routing, because you can sort of go towards Pod, and then when you can mirror to Sahasrarla's hut, just to make some more efficient routing there.
And there's also the fact, too, that you can go into Pod, leave a mirror thing out, so you can go do Pod, and then warp right to Eastern, go right in there.
Yeah, so a little bit of a slower play, but it shouldn't be a huge issue in the long run.
And the wallet.
Knox almost done with Menu Boss. You can do it, Knox. Get those fire rod shots. One more. Yep, there we go. Knox has Argus down.
Perfect. Yeah, if you let Argus go too much, it can kind of be a tricky hit.
That being said, he does just bounce around in a diamond. It's very easy to avoid him as long as you're not trying to get close to him. You just don't want to waste all your magic that you're using. Nice big key.
Key right away.
What are we playing here, Knox? We don't even know. We might be getting a frog play here, along with activating the flute.
Not a bad call, especially we can route a lot of things together here. Not a bad call.
Yep. He might also very quickly head back over to the Graveyard Cliff now that he has the Titan's Mitts. Given his frustration the first time he went over there. Ultima making pretty quick work of Eastern Palace here as we go through as well. It's not being the nicest one, though.
The easier part of Eastern Palace in the dark.
Yeah.
I remember when I'm doing this in the dark is that first room is a square, and then this room, mostly you just need to go straight and then up a little bit to find the key.
Yep, there it is. Yeah, I've actually gotten to the point where I've started boot stashing in that room when I have boots. In the square. Fun room.
Oh yes. The thing you do want to have fun in though is the dark room after that.
Yep. We do have the fire rod though, so they can light the torch.
Do keep forgetting that the torch is in there, but that's not a room you want to do in the dark with rock clops and you can't even see them.
So we'll see what Ultima's strategy is for this room. Looks like he's going for the torch lighting.
At the smithy, so we'll find out what's inside.
Nicely done. Nice and simple. And what did our smith have? I missed it there. Arrow
A
upgrade?
shield.
Oh, a shield. Okay. That makes the riot shield in Spectacle Rock a little bit more interesting.
Fire shield is interesting too. I mean, there's a lot better items that you can get.
Wait, those are the only pegs you need a hammer for Hammer Cave? Things I didn't know. Things that probably would speed up everyone if they knew that. From the looks of it, that was just the shape of a hammer straight down to the opening.
And the more you know. And Ultima is looking to make quick work of the Armos Knights here, and doing so very nicely.
And with a vanilla heart container. Knox accidentally dropping the chest. Probably
we have
when
our
he tried.
second crystal.
Yeah. Second crystal for Ultima. Knox with that first clear of Thieves Town did have it.
So we're equal in the crystal numbers, but not so much the dungeons. A little quick on the Meyer thing.
Yep. Nox gonna go up the mountain. We'll see if Nox decides to make a Hera dip. Double Quake medallions. So Quake not gonna be on pedestal either.
So no, they don't even need bombos because they have fire rod.
What is? Why does that chest always have the Meyer medallion? Like, what is it with that chest?
Oh, if somebody keeps locking themselves out of Meyer, they leave a key under the doormat.
Meantime, we also got boots in that room. So we get to go fast now.
Airshed having a lot of value in that. Nice.
So Nox most likely gonna enter Hera here. He might just be entering this direction in general. We shall see. Yes, we are gonna get the Hera play from Nox. So we'll see what's in here. What kind of value we can get out of this.
We're gonna see what's in Agonist Cave 2, so it looks like just the map in the basement.
Fortunately, Nox probably would have been faster to not mirror there, but that's okay. Don't have to sit in the peg room, at least not yet. tile room. Now this room's going to be interesting. Oh, yes, okay, stun them, hammer them. Never mind. Forgot we actually had something that did direct damage to them. I should guess the bow does damage too, so probably wouldn't have been too bad either way.
There's a lot of things that they do take the blue ones take damage from, so they're not too hard to take out.
Just bombing them causes some issues on occasion. Ultyma immediately going for Bonk Rocks here. We'll see. Oh, the lamp.
And
was that 2 items for Knox? Was the bottom chest also an item? No, Knox is leaving with only 1 item done. Only
don't know
one
if we
item
wanted to go after whether he would have wanted to do Moldorm with a hammer, but where the hammer does tempered sword damage, it wouldn't have been a bad call to go try it anyway, in some respects.
Yeah, maybe he's just really not confident with the Moldorm hammer, but
even when you have good equipment, it can still get dicey with the erratic patterns. I mean, even the best players fall to Moldorm, so
yep.
No shame in it.
Ultyma here making the pod play now as well. As we mentioned before, could have paired this with the Eastern Palace play in the first place, but having Lamp has probably led him to come back here much quicker than otherwise.
I'd say I blame him. Pod itself does have 5 items in it, but I have seen in runs time and time again that Pod is the playmaker. Go ahead.
I was about to say, given that we had hammer and bow so early, that's pretty big. The lamp being locked behind the flute, which was locked behind all of swamp access, lowers its viability a little bit. But we shall see what we find here. What are you looking for, Knox? Not quite sure why Knox killed everything in that room.
Yeah, I've seen time and time again that Pod has been a viable play. So even if it's a pendant dungeon, it's usually been worth going into.
Yeah. Another reminder: we're still looking for our first sword here because that's one of the biggest things that's locking us from checking our pyramid fairy as well. Is we can't do Mothula until we have a sword.
It's interesting. It's almost an hour in, and we haven't seen hide nor hair of anything of that.
That being said, our runners have checked a lot of the same things. So we've been seeing a lot of what we're going to get on Ultyma's screen, and aside from the Hera play by Knox, unfortunately, we haven't seen a lot of trailblazing from him. That's a little bit of the nature of the linear seed it's been. Basically, get everything to enter swamp, then enter swamp, get the flute, and then he's made a lot of the same decisions after he got the flute.
And that's the thing of rando sometimes. Sometimes it's wide open, at least to a lot of diversions. Other times it wants you to go one way and one way only. A nice Pegasus boost jump onto the ledge there.
I really like that trick. Helps you. Not having to deal with that red hard hat beetle is a blessing at times.
So many hits.
And you only have the hammer to deal with it right now, which just makes it all the more silly.
When I want to deal with a red beetle, the answer is no. Here, more keys. You know, it's funny. One of the first videos I ever saw of Randomizer described Pod as mullet dungeon, as in business in the front, party in the back. But, I think this time it's really showing itself to be.
Yeah, that's just a few keys that we have right now. We are missing one small key still, though.
I think in some cases, though, because it can be kind of easy to lock yourself out of pod if you're not careful. So having the keys up front is actually kind of handy if you're a little unconfident about pod.
And the fact that we can go to Helmasaur already is the thing that really makes the logic a little bit more difficult. Because it has to account for the fact that you could go use a key on the Helmasaur door before you do anything back here. There's our big key. And there's our last small key.
Little key.
So we will have to go into the Harmless Hallway there for an item.
Of the lantern to go check that, because that is not a room you want to do in the dark. Absolutely not.
Did you go to the wrong spot, Knox? Okay, you did. We're going to the mire area. Another big 20 Ultyma finds in that chest. Nice refill, not a bad time for it. Probably won't matter a lot. Pod doesn't have a lot of danger in it once you have the lamp. Although being swordless makes it interesting. A lot of players a lot of random players actually probably have a little bit of an issue with swordless Helmasaur because we're so I know myself I would be unused to I'm so used to holding my sword out and smacking with the hammer over and over again.
Exactly, just such a knockback from that, and the fact there's so much stuff flying around at the same time. It's not an easy swordless fight at all. I've never had that happen, but now that I open my big fat mouth, the next one I play is probably going to be just that.
It very well could be. Rather it be Helma than some of the other bosses. Knox going to make a desert play here. Looks like it.
Items in desert, but should be interesting to see what's and another vanilla heart piece.
Knox taking care not to hit his portal on his return dash. It's not far enough, Ultyma. There you go, that'll work. Yeah, the blue boomerang there, you have to step past the wall of pegs and then move back over after you've thrown it. Big key on torch, so good thing he found that before. Terrapin's being a little trolly here, and combined with the hammer hitbox. He handled it very well, though.
Yeah, that's a room that can easily get out of control if you're not careful.
At least he's not doing it in the dark, because that room without any fire source is deadly.
Oh, and there's other words for it too, but we won't go there.
Yeah. I was going to comment on that key being there, but the big key on the torch and the compass in the big chest sort of meant that small key was there.
Quick work of with swordless hammer.
Nicely done.
I've asked for a better fight right there. And another red silver arrows for Ultyma. Exciting. Don't have to worry about serverless Ganon fight.
Yep. There's both items out of desert, so we likely won't be seeing a Landmola's kill unless Nox is banking on the pedestal. But we're getting a Landmola's kill.
Not you here, finish it off. And Ultyma with his third crystal, and Nox gonna get his. Kind of interesting where, as linear as the seed has been, they both have very different crystals at the moment.
This one's not a crystal, though.
What is it? Oh, I must have missed that then, excuse me.
Yeah, that's what I was commenting on. There's no real reason to go to Landmola's unless you're banking on pedestal.
check when I was having some issues earlier, so...
Yeah. Let's see here. Pyramid Ledge is a 5 arrow capacity upgrade. Knox going to show off his fire rod strats here, I'm sure. Because you don't have much better weapon to fight the Linmolas with.
Really lucky the gamble could pay off with a sword, so let's see what happens.
Well, no, it's not going to pay off with sword. He's already found both items. He got a big 20 and 3 bombs. That's why I'm surprised he's... That's why it's just a pedestal play. And I'm not even sure, as I mentioned before, I'm not sure what's left that could be on pedestal that would be of note, because Samaria can't be... Like, we don't have a lot left for Go mode, actually. Is it just Samaria at this point? And a sword.
There's our sword.
There's a sword. Actually, that would have been an interesting pedestal. Required pedestal first sword. That would have been a seed.
That would have been a heck of a trolley seed indeed. Oh my goodness.
So 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 30-ish seconds, we found our first sword.
Decidedly goes into the Dark World again. I should take a moment and say that if you've been enjoying these runners' runs so far and seeing their skills, give them a follow. Hard and doing a good job for us, so yeah, definitely worth checking out.
Ultyma immediately upon is like, yeah, I can go kill blind now. I can do this with the fighter sword. And with half magic and cape, as I mentioned before, the biggest problem was that cape wasn't really useful the last time. This time, cape can be fully utilized if he gets into any danger, but he's also on red mail and 11 hearts, so versus green or blue mail. Oh no, he had red mail the first time he was here, but it was still 6 hearts and hammer.
Blind, though, isn't really that bad of an idea, because no matter what sword you have, blind always takes the same amount of damage, so it's not a bad idea to get him out of the way as soon as you can.
Yeah, well, and there's these chases coming here for Skull Woods, and if he is, then why not get this out of the way first? Picks up his bombs. Knox making the play we were talking about earlier, the combining Pod and Eastern Palace in one.
Good call there. Probably going to need a little bit of catch-up there, so that's going to save a little time, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I think, as mentioned before, so sword is still the one thing on pedestal that could still be required, because we still need a second sword before we can actually complete the game. But chances are that would mean, yeah, it's really not viable. You'd almost always have access to more swords by then anyways. You have to have something like book on pedestal and then like the swords locked behind the book or something silly like that.
Yeah, with the way the seed's been going, though, you just never know.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised to find 3 swords in Ice Palace, and I wouldn't be surprised if all 3 swords were in Turtle Rock. We'll find out later. Hopefully Ultyma doesn't go into Go mode too quickly once he finds Samaria. Unless he's already got the sword by then.
Yeah, that would be a dicey little thing, but you gotta focus on the dungeons first before you think about that. So
Yeah. So if Knox was accurate in what he was checking before, I believe there is still an item here, but I'm not actually 100% sure if there's still an item here in Skull Woods. Just gonna blast him with the fire rod. Fighter Sword doesn't do a lot. Fire Rod does much more, and you've got half magic, so by the time you use all your magic, you should be pretty close to killing him. Should be. There it is.
nice for right the last shot.
Ah, there was not
It's a
another
compass.
item.
And it looks like we're...
That's probably a mirror bonk Ultima. Yep. Unless Ultima has a book I haven't seen. Okay, he's just fluting. That's all he's doing.
Yeah, unfortunately, I gotta have a book to catch. But once it gets the book too, the Bumbos and Ether medallions are open to check for things anyway, so there could be swords there too.
Yep. We're just gonna fill up some blue potions at the moment. That might be a call to a Ice Palace play. No, that... Oh, it was. Okay, it was. I thought he shifted past it.
Yeah, that's indeed an Ice Palace play.
Yep. The moment there I thought he was going to Mire. I'm like, why would you go to Mire? Like, sure, Samaria's probably going to be in the big chest, but that's a completely different thing. Why wouldn't we have vanilla Samaria on a seed like this?
I don't know, but hey, you know, trolley.
Stun prize is 5 rupees. Probably knew that earlier, but hey.
More in their wallets. A nice tux, get a monocle, you know, do all the rich people things after their adventure is over.
Yep. And now it's time to hookshot some penguins. Because for some reason the hookshot does more than the tempered sword to the penguins. I don't think you really need that fairy Ultima. I think you can leave it behind. Or you can pick it up. Nicely done. Just hooked it over.
And it looks like, oh, Knox hasn't gotten the lamp yet. Hasn't...
Or was there a lamp again?
Lamp was in Bonk Rocks next to Sanctuary.
Ah, Bonk Rocks, okay.
It's a miss if you're not thinking about it.
Well, and it not being a flute spot definitely hurts as well. Sanctuary having this odd thing about not being a flute spot. The jump is good.
Nicely done bomb jump.
Definitely need to do that bomb jump without the Cane of Samaria. You don't do it, you're costing yourself a lot. Because if Samaria's in Logic already and you don't do the bomb jump, you might not be getting this dungeon done this time.
If you're doing randomizer stuff, that's one of the first tricks you're going to want to learn right there.
Nice hook shot to dodge the spike damage. Meanwhile, Knox... Did he already get the first chest? He must, because he's looking like he's moving down the room now. Nice
It's our big
spot for the
key,
peak.
and it's going to be... chest and see what it got. And Knox gotten. Oh, that's some gutsy moves right there, navigating that maze in the dark.
Not quite where he wants to be at the moment, I don't think.
Fun. I don't know. I was interested to see them face through the locked doors.
Yeah. Oh, you're coming the other way? Well, I guess that works. That's fine. Sure. Yeah. Okay. You got the bottom. He got the bottom right chest. It was a piece of heart. Now, nice easy path. It's easy to get to the big chest door from there.
Kudos to Knox here for gutsing through this. I know a lot of people would just up and go, nope. But Knox is pushing through it. Probably feels like he's behind, but, you know, in any event still, that's some guts. Kudos.
Now, is he doing the full dark rooms? Looks like it. He's ready for this. Ultyma getting a beneficial there. Damage boost into the bumper into bouncing past the fire rod. We'll call that calculated.
He's dodging on those big spike traps there.
Yeah, a couple ways to dodge those spike traps. I personally prefer the move down past two of them and come back up. A lot of players just sort of bait the second one and move back into the gap between the first two. I can't speak for which one's actually faster, or if they are, if either one is notably faster, but
I think it just depends on your comfort level with the room.
Pretty much. We're probably talking a difference of less than a second, anyways. So it's sort of one of those very small differences that isn't really going to matter that much. But hey, just more knowledge.
A close race, sometimes every trick counts, so it's always good to know your stuff.
It's a compass. So we are still missing one small key. So cold stare. So Samaria's in logic already, or at least is available before Ice Palace was required. Because we do not have enough keys to unlock all the doors. We'll confirm this for sure if Cold Stare has a small key on him, but I'm pretty sure he does. I think Ultyma was going to powder, then realized he didn't have the powder.
Oh, there we go. Knox making nice work turtle right there.
Yep.
Fire source in there, but that is not the easiest room in any event.
And let's see how this goes. Little late on the spin charge there, unfortunately. Time for a green potion, I would imagine. Or a blue potion. That works too.
Ooh-dabba-dee-dabba-die.
Should have this down no problem. 3. There it is. Yeah, so he missed his ability to back them into the corner where you can really just mow them down really fast with the fire rod, but made it up just fine. Knox here trying to land some arrows. I think he has a chance here. There it is. Knox finishing off Halmasaur.
For arrows time!
And the hunt is back on. Have we seen a graveyard ledge check yet? Aside from our attempted one earlier by Knox?
Have.
So we're going to get the desert play from, well, we might get, I'm not sure if we're getting the desert play or the Misery Mire dip. We'll find out shortly.
I think where Meyer is Ultima's last crystal, I think he's just going to go right in there and,
Yep. And
go for it.
Hope Samaria's there. If I did call it and Samaria's in the big chest, then, you know, this is the play.
Most delicious flavor of all.
Knox still trying to stay in this race. He's doing a very good job of sort of dealing with what he's got and keeping up fairly well. So we'll see what where this goes, because this could come down to where the last swords are.
And we can't forget about the Cane of Samaria, because it might not be in Misery Mire after all, and Ultyma would have to take an exit.
Yep.
It's in Mire as well, so it's certainly not out of the realm of possibility.
Knox just speeding his way through Eastern Palace here. Nicely done with the Stalfos room there by Knox. Not even letting them spawn before he takes them out. What's your play here, Ultyma? Okay, Ultyma.
We're going into the fishbone room.
Yep. Get your small key. Or not. Oh, that was a way to get the blue switches hit faster. Fair. I don't mind it, except for the fact that he didn't pick up the... Did he get the small key? It was under the chest at the back of the room, right? I'm not silly.
He's got one key right now. And another.
Interesting routing choice. I'm not sure how the timing lines up with the standard strategy.
Fast, but probably just a bit of an easier way. There's Arcane!
There's Samaria.
Would be
One
going
item
nuts
left
right now. Knox in the dark with the silver arrows. Knox really seems comfortable in the dark, but should be careful not to use all the arrows there.
I believe that was all the small keys. I believe there's 3 small keys in Mire. Yeah, we're in 7 crystal. We're in 7 crystal. Get up Ganon's tower mode. We're not in go mode.
Swords, and they could very well be anywhere.
Yeah, you definitely that one you go and you full clear GT looking for the swords for sure is going to be the play that Ultyma will make here.
Well, a big key.
So unfortunately, I think the only way that Knox is going to have a chance of pulling this one out is if somehow all the swords are locked behind pedestal.
Which, with 3 progression swords there, kinda tight.
Yeah.
Knox making very quick work of the Armos Knights.
Knox going for Ice Palace, yep. Ultima's just going to blaze his way through here.
I have a feeling personally that there's going to be a high chance that Ultima's going to find what he's looking for in Ganon's tower. Since, if I remember reading correctly, there's 20 items there. Usually nothing you really need by the end of the game, but it's still a lot there to look through if you haven't found it yet.
Well, actually, so from what I understand, the logic's been made so that up to 15 items in there can be generated as just nothing that you'd want for progression. So it's not quite as high, but still fairly high in the long run. Given the amount of locations we've already checked between both players, we know that it's going to be... We know there's not that many places that it could be. It would be interesting if one of the swords was on Moldorm.
Oh, indeed, yes.
That would come back to doubly bite Knox, which would be a little unfortunate.
A silver arrows making quick work of Vitreous.
Yep.
Vitreous, wow.
one of two enemies that can take more than one silver arrow. The other one being the final boss himself. Enemies not taking damage from arrows do not count. Like, let's just make that statement immediately there. Ice Rod Cave hype, guys. Ice Rod Cave hype.
Oh,
1 hour, 27-minute post-go mode. Or post-7 crystals, Ice Rod Cave.
I forgot they hadn't gone in here yet. I usually route this in right away. And hype is dashed, and Ultima's got to be frustrated at this point.
And people are already getting their guesses in. Anyone who has a sub to any of the speed gaming channels or has donated more than 250 bits is eligible to have their guess tracked if they are correct, the first correct guess. But of course, everyone, please get your guesses in for where the big key in Ganon's tower is. I think I also see guesses for swords, but that's a little bit different.
What are you thinking?
Well, for big key, I always take 8, just because. I'm not sure I've actually ever been right yet, but hey, all the more reason to keep guessing. It got to be right eventually.
Guess mine on seeing how trolly it's been or not. So I'm gonna guess 4 myself.
I was about to say, the only troll in this seed has really been where the swords are. Knox just running through Ice Palace.
And Knox has been making up some lost time here.
Yeah.
I mean, it is behind, but it's been making up for it pretty well.
Yeah, he's been playing very well. I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to show off quite as consistent a performance as he has at the start. There's been a couple... He definitely doesn't look... His most movements haven't looked quite as polished as you see a lot of the more experienced runners having, but he's starting with that blind kill way back when. He's been impressive all the way through the run.
Randomizer does have its tricky moments, and sometimes it is kind of hard to think of, oh, where am I going to go next? Especially if you haven't had as much time with it. So, been making really good progress. Been impressed with him so far.
Interesting. Ultyma starting with Tower of Hera. Or just, he wanted to check the first item because it was super fast. That's fair. Knowing the second item is a key, he just didn't even bother going to it yet. Are we going to get right side? We are. I don't expect we'll see immediate tile room, because we're not that desperate yet, I wouldn't think.
It's just, it's a gamble that you have to really be confident in. And once you get to around Ganon, say, oh, Wall Master grab. I mean, tile room isn't something you'd want to do unless you're really confident that you're ahead, especially at the end.
Or something like what happened in my first tournament race, where my opponent did that because he was here without hookshot. And when you're here without hookshot, you've only got about 8 locations to check in the first place, and tile room is one of them, so you may as well just do it on your first pass through.
That is rough right there. Wow.
Yep. So Ultyma going to start with the right side play here. We'll see what we get. I expect we'll only see the first the play of the first 6 chests here, these 4 chests here, and then the small key. But you never know. We'll see what we get.
There's our Master Sword.
Sword. And bombos, for whatever that's worth. Not a lot.
Master Sword was in 4, so I wasn't right on Big Key, but right on Sword, so I'll take half point. Who guessed 4? I'll also give you half a point, too.
Cyclone, I don't think that's a command as much as you want it to be. Anyways. It's a key room.
I think that was 10 now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Sorry, that would be 11 because of the torch.
Now we're at 12.
Yep. You forgot something, Ultyma. Got it. You got it, Ultyma. You got this.
Knox with a magic refill for Cold Stone, taking out both in just about one go. Nice.
Nice bonk shot there from Ultyma. ₹50 as his reward. Across we go. Into the rando room for chests. 15, 16, 17... We only got 17? No, we are at 18. That was 18.
Speed continues to be trolley to the bitter end. I bet it lives under the Dark World Bridge. I mean, Light World Bridge has Hobo. I mean, you know, only natural.
Knox is going to get a lamp. There it is, Knox. There it is. No Mystery Mire Dark Room for you.
Thankfully for him, but he's been really good with those dark rooms without the lamp. So like I said, really big kudos. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, he's still got a bigger problem, which is that he still needs to go to Catfish. And down go the Ice Armos. And it's the tile room after the sank heart.
Oh man, and again, this seed continues to troll until the bitter end.
Time to grab a wall.
Thinking about where he needs to go next.
Where does who need to go next?
Knox was thinking about where he needed to go next. He's just kind of lingering on the flute screen for a minute.
Yeah. And Meyer will work. It's not going to get him everything he needs, but it is going to give him the Cane of Samaria. Which we now know is not only needed for Meyer, but also for your second sword and a big key.
There's our big key and tile room the whole time.
Truliest part about it not being on chest 21 is the fact that it also meant you couldn't go and pick up the big chest for another chance at another sword. So GT Big Chest may have another sword, just for one of the even trollier options.
Find it in the final chest of this dungeon.
But that's not that bad, because he can still get that. If you wanted to get it out of the big chest, you would have had to go get the big key, then go all the way through the basement again. I didn't think that dash was making it through Ultyma, but I think that's how most of us do that one, is just sort of dash and hope. Spike Cave. Let's see if Spike Cave has a sword. It does not. It has powder. Well, that's not going to lead Knox to where he needs to go, probably. Maybe it will. But better than nothing.
Batcave too. I mean, it hasn't been checked yet, I don't believe.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I that's why I changed my statement from not going to lead him to where he needs to go to. Maybe it's where he... What are we doing here, Knox? You're unlocking the old man.
I think I'm about ready to stop questioning anything the seed is decided on, and I figured it out. It's just a really mean seed.
Yeah, let's just have a swordless seed. May as well just call it a swordless seed. Would have made Moth early much easier if we just had it. If they just called it a swordless seed in the first place.
Yeah, it's like having a like muscle-bound guy with like tons of tattoos, and it's like making threatening gestures to beat you up and take your wallet. It's been that kind of seed.
Well, I'm not sure that's quite what I meant, but sure, we'll go with that. One nice silver arrow, two nice silver arrows. Missed it? Yep. Did he get... Oh! Almost the one cycle. The flying arrow didn't let him fire his second arrow in time.
We'll lose hard Ultyma.
He's got it. Len Mola's 2 down.
Bit of a refresher there before going up.
Everyone's favorite couple of rooms here, the Wizrobe rooms. Just drop a cane block and kill everything. Nicely done, very smooth. Magic refill there, always appreciated.
Grade, which is not going to help in cutting things.
Which was that?
I can't have bomb upgrades, so absolutely.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, Ultyma, what are we checking? This might be pyramid. This might be pyramid and catfish. This might be that check. Hey, look, it's a bug net.
It's an ice rod.
Okay, ice rod.
Found a master sword yet? I wonder if after Ganon's tower would have had to gone into Turtle Rock to find it. That would have been trolly.
Hey, look, we found an ether medallion, because that's necessary. But we got all the medallions.
News with
One more.
Moldorm second time around, though, is there's no chance to fall down 2 floors instead of 1, so that's kind of a good saving grace.
Unfortunately, triggering the fast mode, he's got it. Do we get a tempered fight? The answer is no, but we do get a 4th bottle, and it already had a fairy, so out of the consolation prizes we could have got, that was not an awful one.
Little insurance for Ganon. I think it's trying too little too late to make nice.
Yeah. Knox gonna finally find his sword. Ultyma playing out the beat with his hook shot. Oh, fizzling the Aga's blue ball by knocking him back, unfortunately.
Knox
double
must
there.
be relieved finally.
Giving a few spin slashes just to show how he feels.
I cannot tell if elated or irritated.
And immediately Misery Mire, which is interesting. The play's obviously going to work out just fine. It's just interesting that he didn't do this earlier. Or go straight to Skull Woods once he got the sword.
This is a Ganon quote I hadn't seen yet.
Now for everyone's favorite fight, Master Sword Ganon. Are we on to phase 2? We are not. I think we are now, though.
There's our phase 2 here.
Yep. I didn't think he got the spin-off, but apparently he did.
Someone might want to be careful, though. Running low on health there.
But he has a fairy, so he'll probably just go for that. I feel like using one of his blue potions first is... Oh! Hookshotted the wrong direction, unfortunately. Didn't have the invulnerability frames from the hookshot.
Always a bummer, but now Ultima's going to want to be careful now, because he's going to have to manually activate the potions.
I believe he only has 1 blue potion left, because he still has a green that he has from the way at the beginning. It's a little disappointing, actually. We haven't seen a cape. That being said, Ganon hasn't been in that top right corner where the cape really becomes sort of a. Well, now he's in the top. Oh no, that's not the top right corner. Close, but it's not quite. Oh, you have a blue one. You're good.
Ooh, that was a close one.
I think with red, you only. Do you take 3 from the bats with red mail? No, it's just 2. So he was safe either way. Oh no!
Hair-raisingly close.
So many fire bats. Okay, we should be okay now.
Dane. The thing you want to do in phase 3, you don't want to rush it too much, just because Ganon's got so much knockback, and if he appears on the bottom like that right on top of you, you could be going for a tumble and having to do this again. Oh,
Yep.
missing with the first arrow.
Won't be a huge issue. He got the torch glitch on top of everything else, and that could have been a triple setup if he was real ready for it, but... And one more arrow to go.
There is our arrow. The arrow that looks like it's going through the face of the character there, that definitely looks painful.
Yeah.
But this scene was painful for all of them. Incredibly good game from Ultyma. GG.
GG.
What a seed.
Just ignoring the pendant dungeons being the right play all along.
It's because I've seen a lot of the opposites, so...
There might be a caveat to that if Moldorm did have a sword, because the ability to the fact that either player could have easily had a sword relatively once they got the flute after Swamp could have changed things a little bit, but in general, unless that was the case, there wasn't much else, because we didn't get Samaria till the end, so not like we could have even dipped Turtle Rock till we were in 7 crystal mode.
We'll have to see, too, if Ultima wants to join us in for a little chat interview time.
Yeah, we'll see here shortly.
See what these, what they're both going to be saying as far as the seed goes, because this was really a heck of a seed. Oh my goodness, wow.
Yeah. A winner is you. Well, that's good. That holds a little bit more true for one runner than the other, unfortunately. And we'll see the credits here to see if there was a sword on the pedestal. Or a book.
There's more couch cash.
Knox just gonna get through this very quickly here.
Miser's Homecoming. It's going to make some quick work of Vitreous too here. Done. That was some good aim right there.
Yeah, always good to see it that fast. Alright, I'm just going to get Ultima in here. It'll be just a moment here.
Right, great. Looking forward to it. And Knox now just has to go to Skull Woods now to get his final crystal. Not gonna take long for Knox. Hello.
Hey, everybody.
GG
Hey.
Ultyma.
Thank you, thank you.
Well,
GG.
how'd you like your swordless seed?
Oh, that was a lot of fun. I thought I was so far behind since I didn't have a sword for literally the entire game.
Now that you were pretty much ahead most of the race. Knox just found his sword 5 minutes ago, I think. But on top of that, it was definitely aside from Knox knocked out that hammer blind early on. But other than that, you were definitely you were the trailblazer this seed.
Thanks. I don't know what happened against blind. I failed, and then I didn't want to keep attempting it, so I was hoping to find a sword in the Dark World loop, but nothing.
Well, and it doesn't, like, depending on how much you've actually have you actually practiced much hammer blind?
A little bit, but not with so few hearts.
Yeah, that was one of the big things. You did have the red mail, but that doesn't do a lot on the blind fight.
Yeah, it wasn't very fun.
And look, it was the book at the pedestal.
Good
Ouch.
time.
I'm just happy I didn't get baited into any pendant dungeons. I just checked Hera on the way up to Ganon just to see if there was anything in the basement. Hopefully a sword.
Yeah, Nox went into Hera, but he only got the one item, so we're not and it was way up the tower. And so we weren't quite sure why he didn't do Moldorm at the time. Like, this was like 45 minutes in. Like, pretty much he got the flute, he went up there. So we don't know if Moldorm had a sword or not. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't.
And Ice Rod Cave, it was in the back of my mind the whole race because I ran out. Yeah, I ran out of bombs early on, and it messed up my whole route. And I kept saying, after Pod, I'm going to do Ice Rod Cave, and then after Meyer, I'm going to do Ice Rod Cave, and then finally I went.
Yeah, I basically commented on that. When you guys were both in Kakariko, you both didn't buy bombs on your way out of Kakariko. I'm like, sure, this'll be perfect. At least they're doing the same thing.
I was hoping that I picked up a bomb off the rock outside Link's house, but I got unlucky with the RNG that time. And no bombs in Mini Moldorm Cave either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say, this seed was out to troll everybody from the beginning.
Oh, definitely. Like, going into Ice Palace with Fighter Sword, if you don't have half magic, that's a scary play.
How often is Swamp your second logically completable dungeon?
Never. It's always second last go mode.
And there wasn't even anything really in there. There was the flute that didn't. Well, it gave us logical Death Mountain access. Aside from that, it didn't really do much.
Oh, there were mitts in there too.
Oh, the mitts. I forgot about the mitts. Yes, okay. So Swamp House had something at least.
Yeah, left side was a troll. I almost skipped it, but I didn't want to get burned so early.
Yeah, and it was still items. That's the big thing. If you'd done it and then found the map and compass, it would have been like, really?
Yeah.
at least it was items, right? You would have gone back for them anyways, even if you hadn't done it the first time.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, as far as the seed goes, would you consider this probably one of the most difficult seeds, or?
Since we had red mail, it wasn't as difficult as some of the nightlies that we have at 10. But hammer, you really have to know your hammer strats to do good with these bosses, because they can really hurt you.
Yeah, it was definitely, like we said, it was basically a swordless seed. You didn't have. I think you had 5 crystals by the time you got the sword. Maybe you got it a couple earlier. I can't remember.
Yeah, and then Menu Simulator 2018 on Argus.
Yeah, but that was so really, that's almost even irrelevant. Now, granted, you could have had the sword there, but what does the fighter sword matter on Argus? You're still going to do menu boss I assume?
Yeah, I never do sword spins with Argus. I always do hammer.
Like, I'm not sure if optimal fighter sword double hits on Argus is faster than menu boss or not, but
I think it's about 15 seconds quicker. Somebody timed it on the Discord once.
Does that include getting double puffs with the spins?
No, that's just singles.
That's singles. Oh, okay. So fair enough, but if you weren't going to do it anyways, what's the difference?
Yeah, and you have to be pretty frame perfect to be able to do it.
Yeah. So just as well.
I'm pointing out that there was 3 swordless bosses in this run.
Was Helmazor? What else did I do? Armos, Argus. What else?
I was saying in terms of what Knox did. I was saying in terms of what Knox did, there was 5 of them because Knox didn't get a sword until there's only Skullwoods and Misery Mire left.
I contemplated going into Skullwoods and fighting Mothula. That when I went there early with I think 4 or 5 hearts, and I bailed because I didn't. I'm glad I found the 2 items right away.
Well, it would have been a little difficult because you didn't have a sword.
Oh yeah, that too. I forgot.
Yeah, that's always one of the things that's easiest to forget about Skullwoods is that you need a sword to open that curtain, and I think we've forgot on several occasions. So it's very, very sneaky.
Yeah, Knox is just bolting through right now. He's doing the sort of the regular strategy here, so he'll find his sword much later, but that doesn't really matter because he'll still find the sword before the big key.
That's true, unless he does tile room first. I've done that a couple times, depending on how trolly the seed is. I'll just do tile room first.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea, and considering what I've seen from this run now, that's definitely an idea I'm taking away. Speaking of taking things away, so as far as doing this run goes, what's something you take away from this? Like, is something you think about different, something you do different? What you thinking?
I did this differently than I normally do. I always buy bombs. I've never done a seed where I haven't bought bombs in Kakariko, and it's worked out for me. And tonight I didn't buy bombs, and it didn't work out. So my logic is sound.
Yeah, you definitely don't want... I don't like leaving Kakariko without at least 5 bombs if I have a weapon, or like all 10 if I don't. Although the big thing to know there, the big thing that you sort of need to know as a secondary part of that, of course, is that knowing that there's that bomb merchant just beside Link's house, just north of the Lake Hylia.
Oh, I didn't know there were bombs in there. I thought there was just potions or arrows or something.
I believe it has bombs. I could be wrong.
I'll have to check that. That's
someone may or may not correct me. We'll find out.
I never think to jump in there either, so it's not it's not something I really think about.
The only reason I'm pretty sure it is because I've seen people that in open mode that gamble to not do the Kakariko start at all. Will sometimes, if they get early rupees, go ahead and go into that one, and I'm pretty sure that's where they get their early bombs. Oh yeah, I forgot about Landmo 1. So yeah, so 6 swordless bosses for
oh,
Knox.
He did desert too?
Yep.
I almost got baited to going into there after I picked up boots and where was that? The Mire Shed.
No, Landmola's was an interesting... Landmola's we weren't sure about because he'd already gotten both items before going to Landmola's. So...
I wonder if he was thinking it was a ped seed.
Maybe.
Although, with the seed, it was... I mean, it was hard to think of, like, where's it gonna troll me to go next?
I was about to say, Ped died pretty much once you... Like, by the time you had Swamp access, Ped was basically dead. Because Swamp and Turtle Rock have such opposite requirements.
Yeah, that's true.
Where, like, the medallion could be there, and then Misery Mire and Turtle Rock had the same medallion, and then you found the medallion because why wouldn't Misery Mire's medallion be right there?
Go ahead.
We are getting the tile room first play.
Pardon?
Him anyway for.
He's doing
Finishing
tower
the
before
job.
finishing the right side.
Oh.
Now,
I hope he
he's-
looks.
I was about to say, I think he's going to keep going because he knows he still needs a sword, I'm sure. I think this is just sort of him full clearing and saying, I don't want to come back from that room. I'm not even sure if you can. I don't think you can because of the switch, the pegs and switches in that one room. Oh, no, don't leave. Knox, please.
Oh boy.
Okay, well, Knox is going to go on a sword hunt later.
Ouch.
Really gonna dub this, and I mean this no disrespect. Like I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but this is School of Hard Knocks right here. Completely difficult seed, and that's the way I mean this.
Yeah. The good old this is the one where you need some fundamentals to get through the seed in a decent way.
Like I said, there was no disrespect for him. Knox has done fantastic so far in a lot of his strats and everything. It's just this is a mean seed that can bait you in about like 3 different wrong directions at once.
So maybe our pyramid fairy has a sword. That would be a nice simple one to check after he gets all the way up the tower.
I didn't do any of the fetch quests this time either. I normally do, but I bailed on them this time.
You did the mushroom.
Oh yeah, that was a quick flip, but
Yeah.
I didn't do the smith and the purple chest and all
Oh,
that.
those fetch quests, yeah. I thought you meant the fetch quest items.
Smithy had the fire shield that Nox has, and Batcave had, I think it was a bomb upgrade. I think it wasn't anything that great, so it was probably better
Well,
off skipping.
Not like Ultyma even got the powder because we found that. Where was the powder? I can't remember. Because it was very recent as well. Like, it was like just before Sword.
There's been so much to keep track
Was
of
it-
on the seed.
Yeah.
My guess is either Graveyard Ledge or Spike Cave because I didn't go to those.
It was Spike Cave. Spike Cave is the answer. That was one problem that Nox had, actually, was he didn't know how to get to Graveyard Ledge without Titan's Mitts or Boots. He was over there, and he's like trying to walk around and figure out how he got in there, just sort of stopped. So we never ended up seeing Graveyard Ledge.
Oh yeah, that is another possibility too.
Uh-oh. Okay, you get a fairy here, Nox. And then you get to
Oh, nice.
early spawn the landmos and have fun trying to peg them all with arrows. That's a different issue. Because unfortunately, when you powder that fairy, it causes for some reason it desyncs the first landmo from the other two. Nicely done, though. Easy peasy. Not even picking up the heart. He's got this.
Confidence.
Charging through.
Spike was just being mean and ruined everything.
Yep. That's probably why people don't do that strat on that side. I would have to imagine. Spike just gets in the way too easily, probably, of that hit.
Thought to pitfalls a quick way back. Nice thought.
Yeah, definitely can work quickly. A lot of runners are typically so used to doing that at this point that we're all sort of like, yep, we're good. We'll just keep running around.
Myself included when I'm practicing on my randos.
Yeah. So time to get a bug net, and what was the other thing here? I feel like the other thing was interesting as well. Ice rod, that's what it was. Yeah, you don't even need that key, Knox. Is that gonna work? Nope.
I'm trolling.
You got it this time? Nope. This time. That's good this time. He's got it this time. The bomb's like, nah.
Frustration pulls if I was the player there.
Knox, please. Knox, please. Do it, Knox. Do it.
Got this. Come on, man.
Powder the anti-fairy. That juke had pulled on him just to go backwards around the room. All right, so do we have... Are we going to see the hammer Moldorm that he probably doesn't like so much? Looks like it. One hit. It's a little late on approaching there. Oh, we're okay. Number 2. One more. There
Nice.
we go. And a fairy in a bottle. Okay, let's go kill Aga 2 and then look for a sword.
I would imagine with Nox at this point, I think having to go on a sword hunt is probably not out of the question for him anyway. So I think he's just kind of like buckled down and expected it at this point.
Double. Nice double there. Now for this annoying situation where you're going to cancel one of his shots. Oh, he didn't cancel the shot. Didn't hit him up high enough or something like that. Always a little annoying when that happens.
Boom. Oh, out of here. Just want Fat Fairy to have a sword right there for him, just to show some kind of mercy, because this has just not been a nice seed. I can't say it enough.
Now, is he jumping down the hole? The answer is... I don't think he meant to. I think it's time for a save and quit or death warp. Or maybe he doesn't know. I'd save and quit.
I think he knows at this point.
I think he figured it out, yeah. I would have saved and quit to save his fairy, but either way.
Use this time too to potion.
Determine where you're going to go. Yeah, you've only got 2,000 rupees. I think you can afford some potions.
Any day fund.
Where are we going to first, Knox? What's the play? The answer is we'll find out later. The problem is we don't know what the right answer is, because the right answer was it was in Ganon's tower for Ultyma.
Really, the other right answers I bet are on Laser Bridge and Turtle Rock, because, like, why not?
Why not?
Let's hope that's not the answer Nox is thinking of. Just for Nox's own sanity's sake.
Yeah. Although Ultyma, do let us know. We don't have I don't have access to the chat, so if he does if you're still there, Ultyma, just let us know if he does.
Oh yeah, he forfeited.
He did forfeit. Okay. There we go. So yeah, unfortunately we didn't have access to the race chat, so we do have an official forfeit there, unfortunately, from Knox. So that's pretty much it. We'll see if Knox wants to come in for an interview still.
Yeah, oh man, that's rough. That really is rough, but still very much kudos to Knox. That was not that's one of the hardest seeds I have witnessed. I mean seriously, kudos. We're still waiting on an answer, but yeah, I do want to say
yeah. So I did get a confirmation. So Knox is not going to come in for an interview. Whether that's, we won't speculate too much on that, but definitely let's give a shout out again to our runners here. They did a fantastic job with this interesting seed.
Definitely.
So everyone, especially if you enjoyed the rando or just like speed gaming in general, make sure you're following all the speed gaming channels. Speed gaming through Speed Gaming 6, as well as if you like the rando, we have plenty of it also on ALTTP Randomizer all the way through 4, and then of course thank you very much Megawatt for being our tracker today.
Yes, Megawatt's done an awesome job so far, and really impressed. I think he said it was his first time, too, so very nice job. Thanks for tracking for us.
Indeed. And thank you, of course, Rick, for being my commentator as much as technical issues tried to keep you at bay.
Kind of things to come, but no, it was great to work with you, Spiffers. Thank you so much. Great being a co-commentator for you, too. Would do anytime. Thank you.
For sure. So just as a quick rundown of what we have coming up here, looks like there's a couple races probably still going on in some of the other speed gaming channels here. Just you can take a look through them. It looks like most of them probably have a race going on right now, as well as there's a pair of races coming up at after midnight here, 12:30 Eastern. Vitor versus Couch. So one of the programmers there. Oh no, sorry, that's at 9 o'clock. That's one of the ones running up here now. But yeah, 2 races at 12:30. One on Speed Gaming, one on Speed Gaming 2, and then of course there's lots of rando going on in the next weeks. The weeks and weeks of rando. Lots around.
Plenty to wet your whistle, that's for sure. So if you've enjoyed what you've seen here, there's plenty more to see, so keep an eye out. There are lots of great matches coming up.
Anyways, thank you everyone for watching, and everyone have a great night.
Thank you very much for coming. I definitely want to thank Knox and Ultyma for giving it their all. My own personal thanks on that one. And thanks to Megawatt. And another thanks to Spiffers and everybody in the chat. You've all been great. Thanks for stopping by. And see you around on our next match.